Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in this video I'm going to be doing a lot of dog pencil sketches. So I'm showing all the different types of lead pencils that I was using. I don't know where I got these from because there's a couple of different sets that I use, but then I have this pencil eraser. I think it's okay. I feel like it could have been better. When I try to erase, it smudges a lot, so I don't use it as often. So I had sketched the first dog and then realized how much I enjoyed doing that, and I hadn't videoed the first one, so then I sketched out the second one and started to record for that. It had been a while since I'd used just regular graphite pencils, but I enjoyed it so much, and I feel like this spread turned out really well. So for the darkest details, I just used a mechanical pencil because I felt like that one was able to give me the darkest color, and that's just what I use, not necessarily what you have to use, but I wish my regular pencils had the smoothness of a mechanical pencil, because a lot of times it felt like especially H pencils were very scratchy, and I didn't like the feeling of drawing with them. I honestly wish my people portraits turned out as well as my dog portraits do, because I struggle so much with people, and I feel like the dogs looked exactly like the breed I was going for. I tried to really simplify a lot of the features too, so it wasn't super realistic, but it gets the point across of each breed. So for each picture, I started off coloring in the darkest part, and then I will go in and add lighter shading. And I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do it, but I find a darker line art helps me to add shading where I need to, and I feel like it makes the piece come together in the end. The underbite on this dog was so cute, and I think that was one of the main reasons why I chose it, because I thought it would be really fun to draw, and it was. I think I found the hardest part was adding in the shading for the different colors, because this dog had black, brown, and white coloring, so I tried to make the brown not as dark as the black and make it like a lighter shading. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like my pieces always go through an ugly phase for most of the way that I'm drawing it until I start to get to the shading, and then it starts to turn out how I want. So I don't know how I didn't get discouraged doing these, because it ended up turning out great, but it goes through an ugly phase for a while. Also, I added all these details to the ears, and I just end up coloring over them later, so I don't know why I spent the time on doing that. I didn't really like how they look, and that's probably why I decided to color them in dark. A common thing with all of these dog drawings is that I color the nose in a light gray color, just because most dogs, actually all dogs I know, don't have a white nose, so it's some sort of color, so I just use a light gray H pencil. So for the black hair, I ended up using a 6B pencil, which, if you don't know what B and H means, B means that the pencil is very soft and the pigment comes off super easily, the graphite comes off, and H means that it's going to be less graphite, more scratchy, lighter lines. I went back in and colored the dog's nose a little bit darker because in the picture, the reference that I was looking at, his nose was black, but in the other two that I do, I just leave it gray. I think the hardest part on drawing this dog was having to shade in all the wrinkles that were around his face and on his chin area, but I think the wrinkles are what make the breed, so I tried to get all of them drawn in. So when I'm first sketching out a picture, I think I use a 2H pencil just because that's going to be your lightest lines so that you can erase easier, and I find that it's easier to draw darker lines over the top of them later. I colored in the lips behind the teeth black so that you could see the underbite better, and it just looks so adorable. And here's where I colored in the ears super dark so you can't even see the details underneath, but yeah. So this bulldog had a white strip down its face, and I used a really light gray for the brown areas on each side, and I shaded super lightly so that it wasn't as dark as the black areas, but it wasn't left white. I honestly don't think I have a certain technique that I use when drawing these. I just try to make it look as similar to the picture as possible color-wise, and I try to use different shades to convey different colors. Because I'm only using pencil, it can be hard at times to get that contrast, but I think with the black designs in the background, it really helped the sketches pop out more. So for finishing touches, I did get my white Jelly Roll pen out and just added highlights to the eyes and nose, and I did that on every dog drawing, not just this one, because I just find it brings the piece together and just makes it look better. So I got tired of drawing the same star shapes and stuff in the background, so I decided what would be better for a bulldog than to have like a chain coming through the page. And I do not draw chains like hardly ever, so I was happy with how this turned out, but I did have to erase a lot and redraw just because I have really never drawn them before, but I think it really fit with this dog. I also knew that the part of the chain that I was drawing was going to be outlined in like a black ink because I only wanted the dogs to be in pencil so that it wouldn't be too samey and you'd be able to have them stand out. Yeah, so there's my attempt at a chain. I did end up coloring the inside black and just outlining the rest in a fine liner. I had done 2 dogs facing forward, so I felt like I needed to change the angle on this one, and I got more of a profile side view. Again, I went in with the darkest colors first just to get everything lined out and then shaded. I'm honestly really happy with how this one turned out, especially because I am really bad at side profiles of anything. Doesn't matter if it's human or dogs, but this one actually looks like the breed I wanted it to. If you can't tell by now, it is a German Shepherd, and this one did challenge me quite a bit because I feel like with the Bulldog, it had really short hair, whereas the German Shepherd has longer hair, so I just find it more difficult to get in the longer hair details, but I'm really happy with how this turned out. I found that I looked at the reference the most for this one because there was a lot of black areas and I wasn't quite getting the right spot. Like I didn't get the black around the eyes till the very end, and I feel like that's what mainly made it look like a German Shepherd was the coloring. So for this one, I wanted to shade the nose gray because I did do that pretty dark black outline around the mouth and I didn't want the nose to blend in, so I just ended up doing it with like an H pencil and shading it really lightly so that you could tell the difference between the two tones. Also, I love that little part of their lip that just like hangs over. I feel like it looks adorable and I captured it really well in this drawing. So I went back in with the 6B pencil because I found that the shading wasn't as dark as I wanted it to be because it is a black color, so I was like, I need to make this darker so that I can make other tones a little bit darker and still not match that tone. At this moment, I don't know what I'm going to put in the background of this picture. I know I'll add some stars, but I liked the chain idea for the other dog, so I'm going to try to think of something that would go with the German Shepherd. And I do have room to draw another dog on this page, and I probably will later. I just won't include it in the video. If you have dogs, let me know what breed they are down below in the comments. I love dogs and I love hearing about other people's dogs. So just leave a comment with their name and their personality, and I would love to see that. I personally love standard poodles because I have one, and I also have a Bernedoodle puppy that I got pretty recently. She's been keeping me up all night, but she's adorable, and because it's a poodle mix, they don't shed, so you don't have to deal with dog hair. So if I had to pick my favorite breed, it would probably be poodles, just because you can mix them with so many different things and they still look really cool and super cute and fluffy. I'm happy I started out with the poodle with the dreads and the beads in its hair because I didn't have to draw the eyes, and I find that that's the hardest part to do the likeness of the breed, is drawing the eyes. So it was a really good starting point, and then moving on to the bulldog where it had 2 eyes and then the German Shepherd only had 1 showing, so that was really nice. I also think I recorded each dog on a different day, so I'm kind of surprised they each turned out good, because normally if I don't do it all in one setting after I warm up, then it won't turn out like I want to, but I think I was finally getting the hang of shading and stuff by the end of this. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.